Welcome to Evolution. My name is Andre Lawrence, and this is my channel about the transition from gas-powered cars to electric cars from the perspective of a first-time EV owner. This is my 2019 Kia Niro EV, and if you watched my last video, at the end I mentioned that there's a weak spot that's bothered me since I've purchased it. Now, since then, I've looked into it a little bit, and it seems that not just my Niro EV has the problem, but pretty much all Niros in general. And it's something that's easy to solve. If you want to know exactly what I bought and how I fixed it, stick around and I'll let you know in 10 seconds. If you follow my channel and you have seen me before, then you'll know that this is not my usual style. Well, being in self-confinement for over a month, close to a month and a half now, and no access to a barber, well, you shave your head and figure, what the heck, you have nothing to lose. So what is the problem with the Kia Niro EV? Well, even though this is the Canadian SX Touring top trim, which includes pretty much all LED lighting, including headlights and interior lights and all of that other good stuff, it doesn't have reverse lights that are LED, and I just don't get it. So when this car backs up at night, the fact that the reverse lights are low and small, they're completely useless. Basically, I'm backing up and there's light, but you can't see much. And this is a pet peeve that I've had with this car since the beginning, and I found out that I'm not the only one with this problem. Other Niro EV owners have complained, and I saw in the Kia Niro EV Canada Facebook group that someone purchased the bulbs that I purchased very recently and put them in their car and solved the problem. Now, there were pictures of this, and that was useful to me, but I wanted to see, does it really stand up to the price that they paid for the product? Now, the Luminex product is a product from an American company called Diesel LEDs, or Diesel LEDs, and they are expensive. You can buy stuff on eBay for much less money, but supposedly these are truly powerful and read up to their specs in terms of the number of lumens that are output. Well, we're about to find out, because I'm going to be swapping one light bulb. I'm going to show you how to do that with the LEDs, show you what I like and don't like about it, because I did notice one thing when I purchased them, and then give you my opinion as well as a view of what they look like, old and new, and then both new together. Now, before I actually install these in my car, I wanted to show you what it looks like when you receive the package. The company, like I said, is called Diesel LEDs, and this is the box I received from USPS, or Canada Post, once it got to Canada. Inside, you have the actual product in a little bit of bubble wrap for protection. Very standard little box. These are the 921-P whites. I did contact the supplier and ask them specifically if this would fit the Kia Niro EV 2019, and I'm guessing the same thing for the 2020. I'm pretty sure they didn't change the light bulb in the next model year. So what do you have inside is the two light bulbs and some instructions. The instructions are a one-page, pull out the bulb, stick these in, and screw them in place. The bulbs themselves are pretty high quality based on the way they feel, the way they look. We'll know if they're any good once I've installed them, but so far the other reviews that I've seen are fairly decent. They've got the connection that happens in the housing for the light, and then the other end, which actually connects to the connector where the light bulb usually sticks into. We're going to find out if these heat up or not, but according to the manufacturer, according to the supplier, these are going to generate less heat than the actual light bulbs themselves, so they shouldn't cause any issues. The one thing that I really don't like about these kinds of bulbs is that this is what connects into the light bulb connector in the car, in the harness itself, and then you jam that into the housing. There's nothing to protect the actual connection. It's just an open thing that plugs into the wire socket. And I'm probably going to end up either putting heat shrink or electrical tape to cover this, because I don't want any salt and crud to get in there and corrode the connectors. And I don't want any water affecting this. So let's install them and see what happens. I'm not sure about other models of the Kia Niro, but the Niro EV has a pretty closed up undercarriage. Underneath the rear of the car, there is a plastic shield that protects the underneath of the bumper cover. It's held in with a few nuts and some plastic push pins. In order to replace the reverse lights, you're going to need two tools. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver and a 10mm socket wrench. There are 7 little plastic push pins that are in the rear edge of the cover. Here's where you stick in the flathead screwdriver to pop the head down. And there are 6 nuts that are on the back edge of the cover, 4 in the center, and then 1 on each side hidden up here. Now the 7 pins that are in the back edge of the cover are made of plastic, and the little head that's in the center pops downwards with the screwdriver and allows you to pull the entire retainer out. Just be sure to be gentle and pull the head of the pin out about ½ centimeter. It should be enough to get the entire clip out from the bumper cover. When I started to take the nuts out of the back edge, I had used a shorter extension on my ratchet, but as I did the first nut that was higher up, I realized that my extension wasn't long enough, and it kept bumping into a bolt that's sticking out of the suspension or frame or whatever that is. So I changed it out for a longer extension, and then everything worked really well. Earlier I said there were 7 retaining clips and 6 nuts holding in the cover, but there are actually 2 little thumb screws that are in the center to allow the cover to stay up when you install it and remove it once you've got all the other retainers taken out. These are just finger tightened, so you don't need any tools to remove them.
Terrible.
In order to get the bulb socket out of the housing, you need to rotate it counterclockwise, but the socket is 90 degrees and there's a little retention pin that prevents it from rotating. To get the socket out, you need to pull the cable off that's held in with a little clip. You need to pinch the connector right here and pull the cable away from the socket. Now when I first started to try and pinch this clip out, it was a little bit hard. It seems to be quite stuck on, so be sure to press until you hear it click, and then you should be able to pull it backwards away from the bulb socket. Once you've done that, then all that's left is to rotate the socket itself to the left, counterclockwise, and then pull it downwards to get it out of the car. I'm really unhappy with my GoPro because when I had taken out the bulb and set my GoPro up in the trunk of my car to record me pulling out the bulb, inserting the new LED, and then taping it up with electrical tape to seal it, well, my GoPro decided to eat that, so this is all you get to see are these 3 little images that I was able to salvage from what video I had. Sorry about that. Once you've got the LED connected to the bulb socket, you need to reconnect the socket to the car's harness, so let's start with that. Now you can't really tell from the angle that this camera has, but the space to do this is really small, and even though I don't have big hands, I'm trying to film this and let you see what I'm doing while reconnecting the cable to the bulb socket with 1.5 hands. This guy couldn't really get both of my hands in there. When inserting the LED into the opening, it's important to note that there are 3 surfaces that actually light up. There's the top portion that points straight up to the top of the housing, and there's a front and a back. So be sure when you insert the LED into the housing that you've got one of the main faces pointing back out of the car so that the light is brightest. Once I was done reconnecting the connectors together, I made sure that the bulb was properly lined up with the rear of the car, and then I chose to tuck the wire behind the other wire that's there for the reverse parking sensor. So now let's look at a before and after, then a combined view of before and after together. Like I said previously, the original Niro EV reverse lights are pathetic. As you can see here, they're completely useless. The Luminex LED reverse lights, on the other hand, are incredible. They are very bright, and for the first time in 1 year of ownership, I can actually see what I'm doing when I back up with my car at night. To make sure you can see the actual difference, here's a side-by-side comparison of the lights. It really is incredible how drastic the difference is. I really wish I would have done this modification when I first got my car. It really is amazing. So if you're on the fence of whether to upgrade the reverse lights on your car, you shouldn't hesitate. Go out and get these lights, they're amazing. Before I get to my final words on the Luminex LED reverse lights, I wanted to say a giant thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel so far, because even though I was away from YouTube for 2 months, I still had channel growth, and my channel is now over 2,300 subscribers. That's pretty amazing. I'm super happy. Thank you very much. I've decided to get back to some older habits and give myself a new goal. I'd like to get to 3,000 subscribers as obviously soon as possible. So if you could help me out and show me that you like what I do by clicking the subscribe button and clicking the thumbs up because you like this video, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. One of the other things that I haven't done in a while is the t-shirt quiz. Now, because of the pandemic and confinement, the stores are closed and I'm not able to go shopping at my usual place for a new t-shirt. So I've decided to do something a little bit different. Let me get on my new t-shirt. So here's the t-shirt I wanted to show you. Obviously, it's my EV-olution channel t-shirt, so that's not really what this quiz is going to be. It's a bit of a twist. Since I had to record this video over a period of several days, I wore shirts on different days. And the question is, how many shirts did I wear during the making of this video, including this t-shirt, but excluding any bloopers that may be included at the end of the video? If you're the first person to get the right answer as to how many shirts I wore during this video, I'll mention your name in the next one. Now let me get back to my regular shirt. Like I said, the number of shirts that I wear throughout this video does not include any bloopers that I may include at the end of the video. So if you didn't count, you're gonna have to head back and watch the video again and see how many times I changed. So what are my final thoughts on the Luminex LED reverse lights? Well, I'll start by saying that they are amazing in terms of brightness. The quality looks fantastic, they're well packaged. The communication from the supplier diesel LEDs is fantastic. They respond almost immediately to my emails. They answered all of my questions really quickly. Fantastic customer service. The thing I don't like is the fact that the connector that goes into the bulb socket is exposed, and you have to tape it up with electrical tape if you don't want water, dust, and bad stuff to happen to that, or for them to disconnect by themselves because you roll over a bump. I wish they included some sort of rubber boot that would connect straight onto the bulb socket and seal it off already. Considering that these are $55 US plus $9 US for shipping, that's something that I would have liked to have seen, considering that there are cheap alternatives out on the market. It's up to you to decide if you're willing to spend that extra money. I haven't tried the cheap Chinese products that are on eBay. They may be good, but these, in my opinion, are excellent. With that being said, be sure to stay tuned for my next video because summer is almost here. I finally got the chance to have my new wheels put on my car, and I'm going to be making a video about what they look like on the car with and without the plastic inserts, and try and get an idea of what the efficiency is because of the difference with the original wheels and these new wheels. And if you were looking in the background, you may see some pictures. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, please put them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. And I'll do the t-shirt portion, blah, 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 blah. And say, so there you have it. This is not actually the question about this. So here's my t-shirt. Obviously it's my EV-olution channel website t-shirt. And it seems that not just the EV version, but all Niros have this little weak spot. But I bought a problem. Oh,